Everybody, just want to say that I refuse to become a nut job. I'm not gonna get brainwashed. You're not gonna mold me into something that I'm not, and I'm not gonna do that to myself either. I love life. I love happiness. Oops. But I'm still confused. Confusion. I lack some skills on which to keep stay at I wish skills to stay on track every day, because I get derailed. I don't follow through with with the things that I have to do. So bear with me. I got my guitar here. I'm gonna do a little bit of drawing. See how the night goes. I don't know how it's gonna go yet. I don't know if you can see it. I gotta get a knife out of the back. Be right back. Oh God! I forgot that I got the knife in here. Well, I'm spending the night in the streets again. We ran out of money. I don't know where Katie is. I hope she's okay. Pretty hard being in a relationship. The reason I say I refuse to be a nutcase, a nutcase, because I want to help. I want to help the mentally the people that have mental issues. They have it real hard. It's not easy being in that situation. Females have it the hardest. It's not an easy life to live for them. They really need help. They need some housing, some help. If I can stay focused, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to help. So help me God. Those beautiful souls don't have to be sleeping in the streets, being scared like that, not knowing. Not knowing. They need a place they can go home. I feel real bad. I had a couple of them at home and I messed it up. I'm gonna start working real hard. Make sure they have a place, a roof over their head. So help me God. I enjoyed that night that I went to Luling. Despite not having any money, I enjoyed myself very much over there. It's a nice little town. It's a wonderful community. I did not interact with none of them, but I got a good vibe out of all of them. I felt welcome in the spiritual way. They're good people. I had some grapes over there. I was so hungry that I just went into the HEB and grabbed a couple of handful of grapes and ate them. And tears started coming out of my eyes when I ate them because my stomach was so happy of getting some food in that belly. It's pretty humid out here. I'm glad I took a shower before I had to leave the hotel room. I don't know why I always think I got money in the PayPal debit card. They say they got my back. I guess they don't. I need to go see a lawyer and get some advice. A while back I went to see my lawyer and I told him that I felt like if I was in a reality show, and he's probably was on his own reality show. He didn't have time for my question because he scared the daylights out of me. I don't know what else should I do with this? Hello, Google. Alexa, give me YouTube. Google. Okay, Google. Access YouTube. Okay, Google. Don't wanna. Don't wanna.
Now, the one that I like the best, Ken, is the 3.5 liter EcoBoost from Ford with the F-150. It will pull with a 355 rear end over 11,000 pounds. And yet, when you're not towing the trailer, it gets really good gas mileage for a pickup truck. The only thing that you might consider, and I don't know enough about it yet because they're not out yet, but they're putting the diesel in the F-150 starting out here this month, and it's going to have a lot of towing capacity. Now it's going to be about $5,000 additional to what that 3.5 EcoBoost is. So the only reason to do it would be the longevity of a diesel engine, because they just typically go twice as far. But if it were me, I'd stick with the 3.5 EcoBoost. I'd get a 355 rear end. You'll have more than enough truck. You'll have a much more enjoyable truck. And there's just no need in going and spending the extra money on the 3/4 ton. You don't need it. And the good thing about it is, if you were to decide to go to a larger trailer down the road, you'd still have 3,000 more pounds before you max out the truck. So definitely that's the way I would go. I've got two great Ford dealers in Southern California. Airport Marina Ford is one of them, and Bob Wonders is the other one. They're on our website.
There's no right way to buy the wrong car. Get some help from the Car Pro Show at 1-800-926-7777.
The future's coming fast, so Spectrum's getting faster. Hey, there's going to be billions of connected devices in the next few years. Someone's got to power this stuff. That's why Spectrum is accelerating internet speeds starting at 200 megs. And with their fiber-powered gig service, keep everything connected with speeds up to 940 megs. So bring on the next big thing, and the next big thing after that. Spectrum is here to power it. Are you ready for what's next? Spectrum. Think forward. To learn more, visit spectrum.com.
If we're already breaking records this early, it could be a real scorcher, but I'm not worried. I've got a brand new Lennox home comfort system from Faught Service Company. Stop worrying. Call Don and Bonnie Faught today. Get rebates up to $1,700 on qualifying Lennox systems, plus Austin Energy and Texas Gas rebates. With those lower utility bills, you'll wonder why you waited. Call Faught Service Company, 512-419-1066, FAU GHT, license 13500E.
As an employer, you've got more reason than most to love smartphones. They allow you to reach your employees anywhere, anytime, and they keep you connected to the people you count on. At Texas Mutual Insurance Company, we understand, and that's why we're asking you to turn the phones off. It isn't easy. We know, because we did it ourselves. We set a firm, no-exception, company-wide policy. No phone use of any kind while driving on work time. That includes hands-free functions. The result? Accidents decreased. Productivity didn't. Driving accidents are the #1 cause of work-related fatalities, and cell phone use is the leading factor. That's why it's up to you to make the call. Establish a no phone use while driving policy for your company and give your employees the freedom to ignore incoming calls. There's no question it will save lives, and will get a whole lot of good Texans home to their families. Texas Mutual is changing the way workers' comp works for you. To learn more about keeping your drivers safe, go to worksafetexas.com/yourcall.
And we welcome Julius from San Diego, California to the show. Julius, welcome.
Hi. Morning, Jerry. How you doing?
Doing good, my friend. How can I help you?
Hey, listen. I'm looking for a used car for my daughter, and I came upon a website this past week I'd never heard of before, and it's called CarComplaints.com.
Yeah.
And I just wondered if you have any opinion of that website and its accuracy, etc.
Yeah, they've been around a long time. I think it's good. I think the information there is good. You have to be a little bit careful, because sometimes when you get a high volume vehicle, it'll show a high volume of complaints. But as a percentage of all the vehicles out there of the same brand and the same model, it may be very small. So for instance, if you go to the Ford page to see what the most complaints are, you'll see that there's a lot of complaints on the F-150. Problem with that is it's been the #1 selling vehicle in America for 41 years. And there's more of them out there for things to happen to. So it can get skewed. But I think where I like that site is when somebody asks me about an issue with a vehicle, and is that a common issue? And they kind of give you the top, I think it's, if I remember right, top 5 complaints of a particular year and then a particular model. And you can even get down to engine. The last time I checked this thing, and I was checking it for accuracy, I looked at F-250s because I wanted to see if they showed big problems with the 6-liter diesel that was back around 2003 to 2007. And they did. They showed a lot of problems with it. And so from that standpoint, I think that is accurate. I just think you can't just look at the number of complaints on a vehicle and make any assessment from that. But I think the website's good. I think they do a good vetting job so that they don't get a bunch of trash on there. Some of the websites do. You can't trust the information that's out there because you don't know if it's accurate. You can't confirm it, and particularly if it's about a new car, it could be a competitor that's selling the car opposite that's going online just making stuff up. And that's why I don't put too much credibility in most websites, but I think that one's okay.
There is it to fix too.
Before you buy a car that doesn't really fit how you drive, call the Car Pro Show at 1-800-926-7777.
Radio KLBJ, I'm Robert Wood. Topping Austin's news, the president's lawyers are saying they will go to great lengths to keep President Trump from being subpoenaed by the special counsel on the Russia investigation.
A letter sent earlier this year to Robert Mueller implies President Trump cannot be forced to testify in the Russia probe. The president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, says if it comes down to it, they'll fight it in court if a certain standard is not met. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The remains of 8 U.S. military veterans that for years have been stored in the basement of a county courthouse in the Texas Panhandle have been interred as part of a formal ceremony in San Antonio. Negotiating a modernized North American free trade agreement hasn't been all that easy. In Texas this week, Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue thinks in the end, everything will work out. The KLBJ Radar Weather Watch low overnight 75. I'm Robert Wood. Get news on demand at newsradioklbj.com.
Hi, this is Mark Caesar for Austin's premier arthritis center. If you suffer from painful arthritic knees, there's a new breakthrough treatment available that's FDA approved, all natural, and drug-free. The Arthritis Relief Center of Austin has a cutting-edge program for painful arthritic knees. This program uses Hyalgin, a natural compound already found inside our joints, along with the very latest advanced imaging technology to ensure proper delivery inside the knee. In most cases, it eliminates knee pain, and it's helped thousands avoid knee replacement surgery. Plus, this treatment is covered by most insurance companies, even Medicare. I want you to call today. Schedule a free knee pain screening. See if you qualify for this FDA-approved knee pain treatment. 512-975-3181. This cutting-edge treatment can eliminate your arthritic knee pain. Call 512-975-3181. You have nothing to lose but your knee pain. 512-975-3181.
Hey folks, Bob at Barbecue Outfitters, and it's time for the crowning achievement of making Dad smile. That's right, the Barbecue Outfitters Father's Day sale. Barbecue Outfitters is your Central Texas Father's Day headquarters. No ties, cologne, or wallets sold here. We've got barbecue grills and lots of them. From names you can trust, like that icon of the backyard, Weber Grills in gas and charcoal. Barbecue Outfitters is the largest dealer in Texas, and for Father's Day, they're at the lowest price of the year. We've also got the best in barbecue tools, rubs, baskets, gadgets, hilarious aprons, cookbooks, and more. Barbecue Outfitters is offering sale prices on the Big Green Egg, Traeger pellet grills, the amazing Kamado Joe, and all our outdoor kitchen products. Savings throughout the store to make your summer great or Father's Day extra special. And at Barbecue Outfitters, you get assembly and in-home service for 1 year, all included for free. The Barbecue Outfitters Father's Day sale on Highway 620, a quarter mile south of 2222, and at bbqoutfitters.com. Come check out our Father's Day sale.
I'm able to offer my customers something that I've never been able to offer previously. The experience, that's important, the savings, which is huge, and the quality, that's unmatched.
Meet Kevin Farron, a 20-year veteran of the jewelry business who left the corporate Mega Mall store to join the team at Diamonds Direct.
I couldn't be any happier. I love it.
Kevin says he still can't get over how much better the prices are at Diamonds Direct.
I would have to ask, is this the right price on this? And they're like, yes, that is the right price. And okay, I just want to make sure. Prices have been 20-30% less than what I'm coming from.
And the selection is like 30 times bigger.
We have hundreds of loose diamonds available at our fingertips, which I never had before.
And at Diamonds Direct, there's no sales pressure whatsoever. It's all about making the customer happy.
We truly listen to what they want. We learn about them, and we have fun with them.
And at Diamonds Direct, it's just a whole different vibe.
It's a very fun environment. You'll hear a lot of laughter.
And maybe an occasional bark.
Austin being a pet-friendly environment, we love when customers bring dogs in to visit.
Diamonds Direct, at the Domain, where Austin gets engaged.
License number M18951, TACLB 76656E.
The following takes place in a hot air balloon high above Austin.
Brad?
Yes, Sarah? Here, put on your parachute.
Why are we doing this?
Because summer is here. Hundreds of air conditioners are about to break down all over Austin.
Can't we just drive?
This is faster. Oh, man, look. Your emergency cord is broken.
What?
Thanks for calling Radiant, where happy employees make happy customers.
This won't buckle.
Yes, ma'am, we're here. Radiant, the experts in old AC units. Your AC broke down.
Let's just send a truck.
Sounds like you've got an emergency.
Oh, no.
Getting your coordinates now? Ha! You're right below us.
Oh, no.
We're on our way.
Brad, I can't jump.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to, honey.
Oh, thank goodness.
I had this lever installed.
What?
Drops the bottom right out of the basket for us.
What?
Let's rock.
No!
AC problem? Call Radiant, because they go the extra mile. Online at callradiant.com.
Mark and Melinda.
We told you about the mother and father who had to go to court to try to get their own 30-year-old son to move out. And their son is just livid. If you've seen some of the interviews with this jerk.
He is. He can't understand it. Life is so hard. I've got to live on my own, and I'm 30 years old. What will I do?
This story, though, ties in to all of these stories we're discussing.
How we babied the young society. They don't know how to deal with real life? Absolutely, it ties in.
Yeah, he did some interviews after the judge said, you have to move out, buddy. Remember, this guy's 30 years old. He doesn't work, hasn't worked in years. He actually had the audacity to go into court and argue against his own parents and argue with the judge that he ought to be able to continue living in the home.
Mark and Melinda, now weekdays 10 to 11 a.m. and 2 to 3 p.m. on News Radio, KLBJ.
You know, from the bottom of my heart, I hope if you're a newsletter subscriber that you will read Jerry's true story from a former car dealer this month. It's it's kind of funny in retrospect about some trouble with vehicles falling off lifts. You know, those things they put your car up on in the service bay at car dealerships.
Nobody ever thinks about that happening.
No, if it does, it can be a real mess, and you handled it like the gentleman that you are. But I really honestly think that the title of the story really should have been how you took a struggling Ford dealership that I was always surprised by, that wasn't even visible from a major highway. And if you'll recall, the reason I totaled the first demo you gave me to drive was because I got lost trying to find your dealership.
Well, that was one reason.
Well, that was one reason. But anyway, how you took that dealership in less than a desirable location and got involved in the community to the extent that you ended up being the #1 retailer of Ford trucks in the world.
Yeah, we were #2 overall. I was #1 in America one time.
Right.
March of 2002, and I'll never forget it. Big Galpin Ford in Los Angeles, and they hadn't been beaten in years. And I didn't even know we were close, and the numbers came out the next morning. I looked at them and I went, we're #1 in America.
Well, which means the world.
And and they were good friends of mine. Bert Bachman was on a lot of committees that I was on, the owner at Galpin. But I will tell you this, all that did was make him mad. And the next month, they crushed us. I mean, it wasn't even close. Rob in Glendale, California. Welcome to the Car Pro Show, Rob. What can I do for you?
Hi, Jerry. I am looking to buy a car this weekend, and I'm interested in either a Honda HR-V or a Subaru Crosstrek, and I want your opinion on the pros or cons of each. I like the styling on both, and the interiors on both.
You know, the HR-V for me, although Honda classifies it as an SUV, to me it's more of a hatchback sedan that just sort of sets up taller. I think the Crosstrek has got more room inside. Certainly has more cargo area than the HR-V, and I rank them quality-wise as being very equal. I think the one thing that would switch me to the Crosstrek is Subaru's EyeSight system. And if you haven't experienced that, I think it's one of the greatest safety things that's ever come about in cars. And Subaru nailed it. It is fantastic. And it's not overly priced. I mean, it's about, last time I checked, it was $1,200 or $1,300. But for what it'll do, just a quick story. We had a Cleveland listener that got a new one, asked me about it, and I said, yeah, and this was a Forester. I said, get the Forester, but be sure and get the EyeSight system. And his wife didn't want to spend the money on that system. She didn't really understand it. Well, he won out, and less than a week later, she's driving down the freeway and takes her eyes off the road for just a second to do something on the dash, and the eyesight system saved her life. It stopped the car for her before she even knew she was about to hit something. It's spectacular. That would be the only reason that I would choose the Subaru over the HRV, unless you occasionally need all-wheel drive, because the Subaru all-wheel drive system is one of the best out there, and certainly the best in its price range. So, I think you can flip a coin and not make a mistake with either one of those vehicles, Rob. And I've got great dealers for both of them in SoCal. If it were me doing it, I'd go with the Crosstrek. I just think it's a really, really neat SUV. And we go to Jeff in Houston. Jeff is gone. Jeff, call us back at 1-800-926-7777. And let's talk to Paul in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Good morning. I've got a 750 Li, and it's my second BMW, and I've had some mechanical problems with the last one, and I'm thinking of changing or maybe investigating the Lexus as against the BMW. I think my repair bills have been rather expensive at 100,000 miles.
Yeah, and that's pretty normal, Paul, with the BMW, and I like them, but they're expensive to maintain, and there's a lot to do when you get up around that 100,000 mile mark.
Yeah, I love the ride, but can I expect the same ride out of the Lexus?
Which Lexus? The LS?
Yeah, the biggest one.
Yeah.
One of the bigger ones.
No, you won't. You're not going to get that ride. If you like that firm ride, I will promise you, you're probably not going to like the Lexus LS 500. Now, it's got some settings. There is a sport mode on that Lexus, which helps, but it's not going to get you that ride and feel and the handling of a 7 Series BMW. They're very unique. The closest thing I could tell you that would be a great car for you, but give you more of the ride that you're looking for, believe it or not, is the Genesis G90. It's the same size, roughly, as the LS, Lexus, and your 7 Series, but it's a great car. It's got a 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty. You'll never go to the shop because they come pick it up and take it in for you and leave you a loaner. And it's going to be about $25,000 less than the Lexus LS.
The Genesis 390.
That used to be the Equus when it was still a Hyundai.
Yeah.
That was their big wow.
Now they've split Genesis off as its own entity, and the biggest one, there's a G80 also, but it's more mid-size. The G90 is the big car, and again, it's about the size of the Lexus or the BMW, but a great car for a lot less money and a lot better warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles on the powertrain, and I got to tell you, it is a very exciting car to drive. Lots of power under the hood. It's got a V8, all-wheel drive, handles like a BMW, interior like a Lexus, and with that warranty and with the concierge service they offer, I mean, for me, it'd be a no-brainer.
How about the SUV as against a sedan? The ride.
Well, you're never going to find an SUV that'll ride like a car. Those days are gone. They've got too much capacity. There are advantages to SUVs, and that's why they're so popular today. Getting in and out of them is really simple. The visibility is really good. Cargo area in the back, of course. As we age, it's not as easy to put things into a trunk and then pick them back up as it is sliding them sort of in and out of an SUV. So there are some advantages, but if you've had 2 7 Series in a row, I can't think of a single SUV that you would like. The X5 BMW might get you close, but again, you're in a BMW, and if you're going to keep it 100,000 miles, you're going to spend some money on it. It's like me with my Range Rovers. I know I'm going to be out maintenance if I keep one too long. That's why you got to know when to get out of them.
You know what you want, but not so sure about which brand. So call the CarPro Show, 1-800-926-7777.
You've heard me, Todd and Don, and Jeff Ward telling you there's only one agent we recommend to sell your home. Chris Waters of Waters International Realty.
Chris Waters has an amazing, multifaceted marketing system for selling your home. He has hundreds of buyers ready to buy right now.
In 2016, Chris sold 511 homes. He makes this guarantee. If he hasn't sold your house at the price and deadline which you agree to, well, he's going to buy it. And if he isn't doing his job, well, you can fire him, but I don't think you will.
Other agents may try to copy Chris and even offer similar guarantees. No other agent in Austin spends more money intelligently in more places to attract the right buyer.
Chris's averages are amazing. His listings average being on the market only 29 days, and he's closing on a home every 18 hours.
Don't be confused by realtors mimicking Chris Waters' selling program. Call the original realtor that we all recommend, Christopher Waters, at 512-649-4000. That's 649-4000 or ChristopherWaters.com with 2 T's, ChristopherWaters.com.
And start packing.
Great news, everybody. Thanks to advances in medicine, you may live longer than you think. So you should plan on living into your 90s. For women, maybe even longer. But that could mean bad news for your retirement. Will your savings come up short when you need that money the most? Now, conventional wisdom says that as you get older and closer to retirement, you're supposed to move more into bonds. But bonds have limited growth potential. And again, if you live longer, that could be a problem. When you retire, your money shouldn't stop working when you do. You need a plan, not just for inflation, but income. Financial Engines advisors have been doing that for more than 20 years for everyday Americans, and they can do it for you too. Go to financialengines.com, schedule your appointment today.
Hi, I'm Matthew Ulrich with Financial Engines here in Austin. I'm ready to work with you to help make your financial goals a reality. Go to financialengines.com or call 888-761-4041 today.
Let's talk about a very personal subject, your mouth. Whether it's the result of bad genetics, a bad decision, or just bad luck, missing teeth can keep you from enjoying the life you deserve. It's true, missing teeth are a pain. So what's the solution? Dental implants from Hedgecock Dental, right here in Austin. Dr. Hedgecock is highly skilled in the placement and restoration of dental implants. He's the doctor you call. So whether you're missing one or multiple teeth, you want a doctor with experience, advanced technology, and a high success rate. That's Dr. Hedgecock. Imagine what it will be like to smile with complete confidence, eat the food you love, and not having to worry about your teeth. Call Hedgecock Dental today and see how dental implants can change your life. You deserve a healthy smile, and you can have it. Call now, 512-982-9851. That's 512-982-9851.
Driving down the road is thinking, did Ward just get stabbed on the air? We used to have a screen, and so Ed, periodically, like during a BMW commercial, you would all of a sudden hear,
Nothing for you.
Yeah, like just random soundbite. It hadn't happened in a while, so I have to explain.
Well, you took away all my sound effects.
And that's why. Because it'd be like one of my kids with a sharp pair of scissors. Like just random soundbites. And all of a sudden there'd be an ED, one of the 700 ED commercials.
Nothing for you.
And you would hear,
Him, then her.
yeah, and so finally people started saying, what's happening to my commercial? The engineering department came in and took everything away.
Took it away.
Except this one psycho soundbite he still got. So, there's no reason for it. Now you can read a commercial message.
Jeff Ward and Ed Clements. Afternoons 3 to 7 on News Radio KLBJ, 590 AM and 99.7 FM.
If you read last week's story in the newsletter about it was titled Lemons, Jerry has a follow-up. The rest of the story from the guy that had the truck that he pasted all the lemon decals on didn't turn out exactly the way that you would hope.
No.
I mean, as a Ford guy, but, you know, it was really nice, I thought, of the guy to write the note to you that he did after he found out that you had written the story about him.
Yeah, it was nice to reconnect with him because I said all along, really nice guy. And he was. And he proved it. Subscribe today. We'll get it in your inbox tonight, this afternoon, or at worst case, first thing in the morning. Ray in Houston, welcome to the Car Pro Show. Ray, what can I do for you?
Hey, Jerry. I heard a couple of weeks ago you talking about a $895 a month luxury car dealership that for $895 you could rent a car and even trade them in, not trade them in, but change them out weekly or monthly.
Yeah.
And everything's included, oil, tires, all the maintenance.
Even the insurance.
Yeah, the insurance, yeah. Is there one in Houston?
I don't know of anybody that started one in Houston. It will happen. This one that they're doing in Dallas is Park Place Motor Cars. And they have all the luxury lines. And I mean, everything from, Lexus and Mercedes to
Bentley,
Range Rover now, and Bentley,
Maserati,
McLaren, Porsche.
Is that Schnitzer?
Yeah, Ken Stitcher. And they're not doing it. They're not doing it out of the area because it would sort of defeat the purpose of being able to trade all the time. But if you know Schnitzer, they're doing it right. And
yeah, I knew his daddy real well. I was a good friend of his dad. I was in the car business for about 50 years.
Wow.
I was about 10 dealerships.
And,
in the 80s.
$895 is a lot of money for a car, but when you're not dealing with any kind of depreciation, you're not buying your insurance, you're not paying for maintenance, it's not a bad deal. And
no, it's not. If you figure even $5,000 a year depreciation, that's $400 a month.
Yeah.
And then your insurance, whatever that costs you, and then all the tires and stuff, and then the privilege of driving different cars, and I think it's a bargain. I'm gonna call them.
Yeah. Well, and you know them, they're going to do it right. When you call their concierge and tell them you want to trade cars and tell them what you want, they'll bring it to your house. When you get there, it'll even have your favorite radio stations set so that you don't even have to do the radio station. Good, great.
I used to have the Park Place here in Houston over on 59. Does he not have any car dealerships in Houston anymore?
He does not. And I don't know what happened to that store. The only other one that he has ever opened and sold that I know of was Lexus dealership in Mission Viejo, California. And since we've been on the air in LA for so long, we went by there one day and had lunch with the GM, who ironically is the GM at Park Place Lexus in Plano now, here in Dallas-Fort Worth. So I don't know what happened to either one of those stores, but I think Ken just figured out, you know what, I can do a better job keeping my arms around these stores if they're all within, pretty quick driving distance. He is a first-class operation all the way. Ray, stay tuned to my newsletter. If something opens up down there in Houston or any other market that we're on the air in, I will let everybody know. Now, the one, I don't know if it's in Houston yet, but Cadillac is rolling out a similar program. But, of course, you've got to choose a Cadillac. You don't get any variety like you do with the Park Place Select program. Our website's carprousa.com. You can see my review of the 2018 BMW M5 with 617 horses under the hood that I had all last week. Shot video with it, give you all the details. It's a lot of fun to watch. What a great car.
Just 2 steps. Think about what you want in a car or truck. Now call the Car Pro Show to find it. 1-800-926-7777.
Welcome to Louis Burger Bone.
Can I get a large chocolate milkshake? Yeah, can I get a large chocolate milkshake, please?
Whipped cream and a chick.
No, thank you.
And a combo meal?
No.
Would you like a straw?
Yes.
Do you want that cold?
Yeah, it's a milkshake.
Yeah, I know it's a milkshake. That's why I was asking if you wanted it cold.
Ordering at a drive-thru can take a lot longer than it should, but getting a text tag is fast and easy. You'll always pay the lowest amount on any toll road in Texas. Get yours at texttag.org.
Please drive through, ma'am.
The news you want to know.
MS-13, these are animals.
We're all God's children.
Liberals want to defend MS-13.
The news
School shooting.
you need to know.
Run. There's multiple fatalities.
Stay in the know.
Gina Haspel.
The nomination confirmed.
We may not have the meeting.
Why?
North Korea.
They have far more to lose.
Get the very latest.
There
we're going to see more of these eruptions. This, Stay Inside, on News Radio, KLBJ. Live and local, Mark and Melinda.
Hi, Troy.
Yes, hello. I was driving up Southwest Parkway about 5 months ago, and I got a phone call, and she asked me, was your dad born in Hawaii? And I said, yes. She started to ask quite a few other questions, and I said, you know what, you're getting pretty personal. She says, well, I can call back. So I thought she was kind of nice, as opposed to a telemarketer.
Yes. But this is a total stranger, right?
Yeah, total stranger.
And she didn't say up front what she was. She just started asking questions.
She just started asking a few questions. Long story short, she started to say, well, do you have a couple cousins named Nikki and Gary? And I says, yes. And started to gain a little credibility. And then she says, you are probably my brother.
Wow.
Did you slam on your brakes and pull over at that point?
Close, but Southwest Parkway, I didn't want to lose the reception, so I just kind of kept going. Then she says, you know what, can I come out there? She lives in San Diego, where I'm from originally, and she says, me and my husband can come out, and I says, I would love it. She's 6 months older than me.
And it's true, you have the same father?
So she came out. She stayed out here in Bee Cave. We went down to Luling. My dad's still alive. And funniest thing, though, is I called him and I said, Dad, do you know a Karen, whatever her last name was? And he's like, oh, yeah, I know Karen. And when he told me that, I knew it was my sister.
But he had never told you or anyone else that he had...
never...
Did he know about her?
He never knew anything about her, and he embraced her and loves her and wishes that he always wanted a daughter.
Wow.
Mark and Melinda on News Radio KLBJ.
And it's time for What Did We Learn from the Car Pro Show this hour? I've been taking some notes from our callers from hour one in case you came in late or weren't able to stick with us for the entire area. We started with Mike in Weatherford. He was looking for an Avalon or a Taurus and trying to figure out which one was best for him. I suggested the Avalon, especially because he had a Highlander to trade in, and it's going to be worth more to the Toyota dealer than it is a Ford dealer. Plus, it's roomier. I had Ken in Huntington Beach, California. He was going to pull an 8,000-pound trailer. We needed to figure out, did he need a half-ton or a three-quarter ton? And we settled on a half-ton. I suggested the EcoBoost 3.5 from Ford with a 355 rear end. Looks like that's the direction he's going to go. Julius in San Diego asked me about carcomplaints.com. It's a website where people note mechanical issues with their cars. And my experience with that website has been good. I think it's valid. And as I explained to Julius, you just got to be careful and take into consideration volume when you're looking at problems, because the more cars are sold, like the F-150, the more problems they're going to have, but it may be a smaller percentage. Rob in Glendale was looking at the HR-V versus the Subaru Crosstrek, and I told him I would go with the Crosstrek strictly because of the eyesight safety system. I think it's the best out there. Paul in Ann Arbor, Michigan, looking at a BMW versus a Lexus. He loves his BMW ride and drive. He wanted to know if the Lexus was comparable. The answer was no. The LS 500 will drive nothing like a BMW 7 Series. I suggested he save about $20,000 to $25,000 and look at a Genesis G90. And then a second ago, Ray from Houston was curious about the Park Place subscription program in Dallas, where you can trade out cars anytime you want to for $895 a month. So there you have it. That's what we learned this hour. Don't forget that website. It's carprousa.com, and subscribe to the newsletter.
Hey, don't believe all the ads you see. Call the CarPro Show, 1-800-926-7777.
In this rapidly accelerating news cycle, you can't afford to fall behind the curve. Turn your radio on several times a day for up-to-the-minute news and smart talk in between. We're Austin's only news radio. KLBJ 590 AM and 99.7 FM. You're listening to News Radio KLBJ, AM, Austin, 590 AM, and K259AJ Austin, 99.7 FM.
Airlifted to safety in Hawaii. I'm Ann Carrick, Fox News. 3 people were rescued from the Big Island as lava from Kilauea volcano cut off access to more neighborhoods. Hawaii County Civil Defense Administrator Talmadge Magno says they're keeping tabs on those in the area.
To see what that flow is going to do.
In Guatemala, one of Central America's most active volcanoes erupted in fiery explosions of ash and molten rock Sunday, killing at least 7 people and injuring 20. Among the fatalities, 4 people, including a disaster agency official, killed when lava set a house on fire, and 2 children who were watching the eruption from a bridge. An undetermined number of people are missing in Guatemala. Authorities fear the death toll could rise. Students graduating from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida today. Fox's Phil Keating reports from Sunrise, Florida.
The ceremony, a blend of emotions and moods, jubilant, celebratory, climactic, and of course sad and heartbreaking at times. It was just more than 100 days ago that their senior year was horrifically marred by a former student who stormed the freshman building with his AR-15 rifle, unloading 150 bullets in 6 minutes and killing 14 students and 3 staff. The 4 would-be graduates lost that day: Nicholas Dworet, Joaquin Oliver, Meadow Pollock, and Carmen Shentrup, and their names were called out on the PA system today, along with the nearly 800 graduates.
A number of the students have become advocates for gun control because of that shooting. As preparations continue for the June 12th summit between the U.S. and North Korea, Defense Secretary James Mattis again saying U.S. troops will remain in South Korea.
They're not going anywhere. It's not even a subject of the discussion.
Mattis speaking to reporters on his way back from Singapore. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Summer is here. Are your floors ready? Get major savings now with 50 Floor. Start enjoying beautiful new flooring with the June 60% off sale. This is 50 Floor customer Mark Caesar. Don't miss this wonderful opportunity to save 60% on all carpet, hardwood, laminate, tile, and vinyl with 50 Floor. Be sure to mention KLBJ. Save an additional $100. Don't spend hot Austin days driving around shopping for flooring. 50 Floor will bring the samples to your home. See the samples with your decor and lighting in the comfort of your home. Call 877-50-FLOOR. Save 60% in June on all carpet, hardwood, laminate, tile, and vinyl. Mention KLBJ to save an additional $100. We've had 50 Floor do 2 projects in our home. We love 50 Floor. Call now, 877-50-FLOOR. Get beautiful new flooring and save big with 50 Floor. 877-50-FLOOR.
Call 877-50-FLOOR. Pick up the phone, we'll be knocking at your door.
In Gaza,
the fragile ceasefire between militants in Gaza and Israel continues to show signs of fraying. Israel launching a series of airstrikes against Hamas sites today after militants resumed firing rockets. Last week, more than 100 rockets were fired by militants into Israel. And several agricultural fields have also been damaged by kites rigged with incendiary devices and launched across the Israeli security fence. Tensions have been escalating for nearly 3 months now as Palestinians have violently protested against the Israeli blockade around Gaza. Israeli troops have shot and killed 115 Palestinians. In Jerusalem, Connor Powell, Fox News.
New York City may join California, Oregon, and Washington with a third gender-neutral category on birth certificates. Washington, D.C. allows it on driver's licenses. If the new proposal passes, adults in New York City could choose the letter X instead of male or female for their birth certificates. Parents of a newborn who do not want to identify sex can choose undetermined or unknown. Solo, a Star Wars story, falls drastically at the box office in its second week.
You look good. A little rough around the edges, but good.
Holding first place Solo, a Star Wars story, and that's getting by.
Sorry I'm late. I was rounding up all the gluten in the world and launching into space where it can't not hurt us ever again.
Kiss me like you miss me, Red.
Deadpool, which stayed strong at the number 2 position for a 3-week total of $255 million in North America. The new number 3 box office holder.
How would you like to sail this out into California first?
What do you think?
I think 1,000 miles is insane.
I'm not going anywhere without you.
Adrift, with Shane Shailene Woodley and Sam Claflin. Rounding out the top 5 films, Avengers Infinity War and Book Club. Mike Piazza, Fox News.
I'm Ann Carrick, Fox News Radio.
This news is brought to you by TheRangeAustin.com.
News Radio KLBJ, I'm Robert Wood. Topping Austin's news. Starting now through 5 in the morning, the northbound lower deck of Interstate 35 is closed. TxDOT's Diane Hodges says that work will continue through Tuesday, and then
on Wednesday night, June 6th, we will be closing the upper deck and funneling all of the traffic to the lower deck from 9 p.m. until 5 a.m.
Hodges says there'll be more paving projects coming up in the coming weeks. With trade tensions between the U.S., Mexico, and Canada growing, does that mean we'll not see a new North American free trade agreement? Appearing in Texas this week, Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue says he still thinks that agreement will happen.
And I think it's going to benefit all three nations, both agriculturally and economically overall.
The KLBJ Radar Weather Watch look for an overnight low of 75. I'm Robert Wood. Get news on demand at newsradioklbj.com.
Like morale has hit rock bottom, dying embers stand forgotten. Talks of peace from being tried. Stage your peace tonight. Stage your peace
Premier Networks. This is an encore presentation of Coast to Coast AM and the best of George Norrie.
American Conspiracies. Our special guest, Jesse Ventura, and we will take your calls when we come right back on Coast to Coast AM.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee, and you're even getting up at night to go. This is not okay. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate, the #1 prostate formula, are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one. To celebrate, we're sending free bottles to men who want to cut down on bathroom trips. Yes, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Just dial pound 250 on your mobile phone and say the keyword, not again. Early research suggests that an ingredient in P3 Advanced may help support a normal prostate size. Combine that with a reduction in urges to pee, and you have a formula you'd be crazy not to try. Try P3 Advanced free. Dial pound 250 on your mobile phone and say the keyword, not again. Dial pound 250 and say the keyword, not again.
Message and data rates may apply. Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that furthered your career and gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors, all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? To find out more, text OFFER to 79645. That's OFFER to 79645. Start your online MBA, Information Management, or Business Analytics Master's Program from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the W.P. Carey Business Graduate Programs online. Text OFFER to 79645. That's OFFER to 79645.
Coast to Coast AM sure sounds great in the middle of the night, but you don't have to be nocturnal to enjoy this amazing show. The Coast Insider is your key to a normal life. For 15 cents a day, you can wake up refreshed, knowing that last night's show is waiting for you with podcasting. Listen on your way to work, and again on your way home, or listen to one of over 1,000 archived shows from the past 5 years. As a member, you'll have access to our monthly live chat sessions with George Noory and special guests. The Coast Insider Club is a must-have feature for all Coast to Coast AM listeners. Visit coasttocoastam.com to sign up today. You'll sleep like a baby knowing you'll never miss your favorite guests or topics ever again. Remember, a 1-year subscription comes out to only 15 cents a day. Sign up today at coasttocoastam.com.
Okay, welcome back to Coast. Jesse Ventura with us as we talk about his work, American Conspiracies. He's got Twitter going now, and the website is tied into Aura TV as well. Jesse, when you ran for the gubernatorial race in Minnesota, what was it that got you to run? I mean, did you always want to get into politics?
No, not really. I left the world of pro wrestling in 1990, and I was living in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, along the river, and we had a dispute locally in the city of Brooklyn Park over, I won't go into it, but it caused me to go up to City Hall, and 450 of us signed a petition of what they were doing was unacceptable to us, and we were voted down 7-0. And I kind of looked and thought, wait a minute, this is democracy? I mean, I could have accepted maybe 4-3 or 5-2, but it was a slam dunk. And then I got more involved, and there was a 25-year incumbent mayor back in 1990, and one day I was at City Hall at a council meeting, and I said, "You're going to make me run, aren't you?" And his buddy up there laughed and said, "You can't win." So I ended up running for mayor of Brooklyn Park in 1990, and I won all 19 precincts, and I won 67% to 33%, beat the 25-year incumbent. And then here's the good part of the story. Prior to that, it was a nonpartisan election, George, and the Democrats and Republican leadership co-signed a letter in the state of Minnesota supporting the 25-year incumbent, and they called me the most dangerous man in the city. Then when I won the election, nearly 2-1, 2 weeks later, both parties independently then came courting me to join them. and right away, I knew they had no credibility. I said, these people, and then there was a party called the Independence Party. Well, I served 4 years as mayor, then I was doing talk radio, I was back in the private sector, and then what got me to run for governor was, at the end of Clinton administration, everybody was making money. And the state of Minnesota was overabundant with surplus money, billions. And rather than giving that back to the taxpayers, the Republican governor and the legislature kept it. And I was doing talk radio. I said, this is outrageous. That's our money. They've budgeted. If the economy's so strong that they bring in more than what they budget for, they should return that money to us. So I then made the statement over the radio, maybe I should run for governor, and oh man, it took off like wildfire. I painted myself into the corner and had to do it.
Were you surprised when you won?
Subsequently, we won, and for 3 years, I gave checks back to the people of Minnesota with budget surpluses. They used to refer to them as Jesse checks, and today everybody in Minnesota said that'll be the first and the last time we ever get a free check from the government.
That is true. Were you surprised when you won, or did you think you had a shot?
Oh, I wouldn't have ran if I didn't think I could win. I don't do something to make a statement. I do it full-fledged to win. And I knew if I had a fair chance, I could beat these guys, the Republicans and Democrats. And they made the fatal mistake of allowing me in the debates. And at the primary, I was polling 10%. And 7 weeks later, I was at 30. I was polling 27, and they were calling it a three-way dead heat. But they predicted only 50% voter turnout because it was an off-election, non-presidential year. And it turned out it was 60%, 10 more than they bargained for, and that lifted me from 27% to 37%, which made me the winner.
Why didn't you continue your political career?
Because I believe in what the forefathers of our country, that you're not supposed to make a career out of being elected. I believe that you go there and serve, and when you're done serving, go back to what you used to do or go to a new job. Not make a career of 25 years getting elected from one office to the next. And off the record, I didn't say it at the time, but my wife experienced some health problems, and I value her more than holding office. So, and stress was one of the major problems she was suffered from, and one of the things that made her life less stressful was for me to get out of office.
I lived in Minnesota for a year in 78 to 79. I lived in Eden Prairie, and I worked at KSTP Television.
Sure.
Came from Detroit, and then I went to St. Louis. Beautiful state. Beautiful state.
Eden Prairie, they have such a rich football tradition now. You know, their high school coach is Bud Grant's son.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. And they're so dominant in high school football, they have their own dome stadium.
Bud Grant was the Minnesota Vikings coach for so many years, wasn't he?
His son Bruce is the coach of Eden Prairie, and they're the perennial state champs. They have their own dome stadium.
Wow, we lived right by where the mall went in, out that way.
Sure.
It was a great area. And then the stations were in Edina and then St. Paul, I think, for KSTP. Used to go over that bridge. I think that was the bridge that finally collapsed. I'm not sure.
It could be if it was the Hennepin Avenue one.
Yeah.
Or the 35W that goes right by Hennepin Avenue.
Does it still, climate-wise, does it still get frigid in the winter in Minneapolis, St. Paul?
I don't know. I haven't been here for 10 years.
That's why you go to Mexico.
But I can honestly tell you, yes, it still does.
All right, let's take some calls here for you. We'll pick it up by going to Victoria in Seattle, Washington on the wild card line. Hi, Victoria. Go ahead.
Hey, I was just wondering if you guys have heard of that GCMAS. That's a protein made naturally by the body, and it helps your immunity system ward off cancer. And they're finding that they're putting this other thing called, what is it called?
What is it, a chemical they dump in you or something?
No, it's even worse than that. They put this Nagalese in immunizations, and this GCMAS that helps your body fight these things off. The Nagalese interferes with the GCMAF, and there's a strong connection with people getting enough GCMAF and reversing autism, as well as cancer and chronic fatigue and other things.
No, I'm not aware of that. Jesse, I don't think you are?
I'm not a doctor. I don't venture into that territory, and when I speak of getting vaccinations and things of that nature, it's my personal choice of what I do, and then I only speak of direct things like what happened to my daughter.
Sure, I don't blame you. We've got Dr. Peter Glidden on next week. We'll ask him that question. Scott, in California, welcome to the program. Go ahead, Scott.
Hello, George.
Hi.
Hello, Mr. Ventura. Hey, I had two questions, Jesse. First thing was concerning Oregon and the shootings last week. Hillary Clinton made a statement yesterday. If she becomes president, she'll write an executive order for complete gun control. Now, now being that you live in Mexico, where guns and pocket knives are actually illegal, but most people in Mexico own guns regardless. What's your opinion on this?
First of all, I think the government should set the example on gun control. Our government sells guns throughout the world. And what's the difference if a child is killed in our country or a child is killed in another country from the same gun violence? So all the people in our government should set the example. If they want gun control, then control themselves and stop the United States government from being the biggest arms dealer around the world. They can start by doing that. Second of all, they need to understand, I honor the Second Amendment. I support the Oath Keepers, that group, and because that's what they do. They support the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And the Bill of Rights says we have the right to bear arms. Now, I made a statement when I was governor, and I got in all sorts of trouble. It was right when Columbine happened, and I made the statement that had there been a legit conceal and carry in that building, lives might have been saved. And then I told the public be a terrorist, and that's what these people are. They're domestic terrorists that go into these schools and kill people. You must think like them, and they're going to pick out the most opportune target, which naturally is going to be a school because there's no protection there.
And it's a gun-free school.
Exactly. And the point being is, I said 15 years ago, here's how you solve the problem. You've got a lot of police officers, a lot of retired military, highly trained in weapons. You hire them as janitors, but they wear two hats. They're also security in the school. Yeah. They carry a concealed weapon to protect that school.
And they're everywhere.
And the point is, you know, these people, these sick, deranged people that pick out these schools and then attack them like that, they know for certain there'll be no response for 15 to 20 minutes, so they can do all
they've got it.
Needs in that time.
Yep, bring a couple rounds of ammunition, a few guns, and this last sicko, Jesse, he couldn't find a girlfriend.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
And the point is, you know, when they talk, sure, guns are dangerous, and you accept the responsibility with them, but what about drunk driving? How much does that kill every year? And all you hear about are people with 8 or 9 DWIs who are still out there on the road. Where's the outrage over that?
We're with Jesse Ventura talking about his revised book, American Conspiracies, that he wrote with Dick Russell. Dick does a lot of great work for you, doesn't he?
Oh, Dick's phenomenal. We make a great team because Dick is one of these people that loves to do research, and I don't have the patience for it.
You're like I am with my books. We have the overall concept, the direction, and then we find the nuts and bolts guys who do all the work for us.
Oh, yeah, Dick loves to do the research.
Yeah.
And to me, that's so tedious, I can't stand it. I like to read the research and the end result of it, but I don't like to chase it.
We go to New Mexico. Brenda's with us now on Coast to Coast. Hey, Brenda, go ahead.
Hey, it's such a pleasure to see you guys. I've got one question about Jade Helm, but I want to also tag along with what the last caller was talking about. I firmly believe that if we've had guns continuing in our country that we've had, we're not being invaded by other countries. And that's why we haven't been invaded by Japan. And that's why we are a sovereign country to this day, because they know that our citizens are armed. Now,
well, that's very true. What you're saying is true. I won't deny that.
In Michigan right now, there's live fire urban training going on with explosives in Michigan. Jade Helm 15 and Raider Focus is in full-blown operation, and they seem to ignore Posse Comitatus. I don't know if it's been repealed or what, but I think it's covert military exercise after all that I've been investigating. And if it is what they say they are to fight ISIS, how did they know in advance then about this refugee crisis that we're having? I'm seeing a lot of FEMA buses in town here where they're operating, and there's Russian boots on the ground, and it's a lot of strange stuff, and I'm quite concerned.
I think they probably knew, Jesse, what was happening in Syria.
You would think they would know. You'd like to believe they would know, but then again, they've been incompetent before.
Yeah, they sure have.
I'm not sure. I'm not privy to any of that.
So if you were invited to address the Democratic Convention and the Republican Convention, what would you say? The same thing to each party?
Oh, absolutely, because they're one and the same. It's very much, when I taught at Harvard, George, in the Kennedy School of Government, one of my classes was how pro wrestling prepares you for politics. And I explained to my students at Harvard that these two parties are very much like pro wrestling, but in front of the cameras, they're adversaries and they despise each other and they're going to rip each other apart. But behind the scenes, it's all business and you're doing it to make money. And that's what you have with these two parties. They're identical to pro wrestling.
Well, the old saying, drive for show, but putt for dough. That's what they do.
I play golf, and that doesn't apply to me, because if I hit a bad drive, I'm already playing for bogey.
And when you hit one, everybody knows it was you. Jim in Kentucky on the wild card line. Hey, Jim, go ahead.
Hey, how's it going? George and Jesse Ventura, what an honor.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
I actually had a couple questions. The first, I wanted to ask, what is the most prominent conspiracy theory that you are asked about? And second, a true nature of heart. What, over the years, I know there have been lots of, everything from weather modification, Doogie, and on. I'm just wondering if anything, lately has been...
Well, I'll take the second one first on HAARP. We went up and investigated them in Canada, and they claim, it can change the weather. It's shooting these up into the ionosphere and ricocheting sounds back down. And the main concern I had about HAARP was that they called it a unclassified research center, and yet they wouldn't allow me in. So clearly they're lying.
They were hiding something from you,
because
Jesse.
if it was unclassified, I'd be allowed in.
That's right.
And so it is classified, so they're lying about it. And so it starts from that point. If they lie at that level, what else are they lying about? So, HAARP to me is a dangerous thing that they've discovered up there in shooting these sound waves up to the ionosphere and ricocheting them back down. And you can rest assured if the Department of Defense has it under their control, which they do, it's a weapon of some sort. It has to be, because otherwise why would the Department of Defense have it? By the way, we should change the name back to the War Department.
Yeah. And
not what they defense, because we're a country of war, and it should be the Department of War. Now the first question, which conspiracy am I asked mostly about? Well, I probably control that more than anything because I steer people to the assassination of JFK. And the reason why is simple to me. If they can get away with killing the president, then what can't they get away with? And I'm not sure who they always are, but that's the point of, that was a coup d'etat that changed our government without a vote. And so to me, in modern times, the murder of John F. Kennedy is the most prominent conspiracy that we need to know the answer to.
And
all the rest fall in order later.
We've never been the same after that, Jesse.
No, we have not.
Sad story. I just, when I was 13 years old when that happened, and I was in English class, 13 years old. The teacher was Miss Nancy Leonard. And you know what? She found me last week after all these years.
Really?
Now, she didn't remember this event. We all remember where we were when Kennedy was killed.
Sure.
And she knew where she was, but she didn't know I was in her class. She didn't remember that. And we were just talking, and I said, do you know I talk about you every time we do a JFK show? And she said, what are you talking about? And then I said, you came into the class crying and told us that Kennedy had been killed. We're 13 years old. Most kids didn't even know what you were talking about. You don't grasp that. And she said, oh my God, you remember that? And I said, I sure do. And she said, yep. And then she drove home crying.
George, I got to ask you, you must have been a good kid in school.
I was pretty good.
You had to be, otherwise she would have remembered you.
That's right. Oh, I was pretty good. I didn't cause trouble at all. Did you?
Did I? Well, back when I went to school at that age, you and I must be the same age because I was in 7th grade when it happened.
Yeah, you're a year younger than I am.
And I was in 7th grade when it happened. And back then in Minneapolis schools, if you got out of line, they had a big paddle. And
That's
you got
right.
hit with the paddle.
That's right. They don't do that anymore. You don't get hit.
For that today.
That's right.
But you got hit with the paddle, and I remember my wife saying how outraged she was over that. She said, what did your parents say when you came home and told them they struck you with a paddle at school? I said, I didn't tell my parents, because if I'd have told my parents, I'd have got grounded too.
You probably broke the paddle when they hit you, Jesse.
Oh, no, not at all. Boy, I was only in 7th grade, and I weighed probably 115, 120 pounds.
My God. We're going to come back and take final calls with you in just a moment. The block, American Conspiracies, will be back.
Join the Coast to Coast AM Facebook page with thousands of members. It's great for show updates and connecting with other fans. Go to facebook.com/Coast to Coast AM and click the like button.
Radio KLBJ, I'm Robert Wood. Topping Austin's news, the president's lawyers are saying they will go to great lengths to keep President Trump from being subpoenaed by the special counsel on the Russia investigation.
A letter sent earlier this year to Robert Mueller implies President Trump cannot be forced to testify in the Russia probe. The president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, says if it comes down to it, they'll fight it in court if a certain standard is not met. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The remains of 8 U.S. military veterans that for years have been stored in the basement of a county courthouse in the Texas Panhandle have been interred as part of a formal ceremony in San Antonio. Negotiating a modernized North American free trade agreement hasn't been all that easy. In Texas this week, Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue thinks in the end, everything will work out. The KLBJ Radar Weather Watch low overnight 75. I'm Robert Wood. Get news on demand at newsradioklbj.com.
Spectrum Business is transforming how your business does business because we're increasing our starting internet speeds up to 200 megabits per second without increasing our price. Now your business can get new, faster 200 meg Spectrum Business internet, still just $44.99 a month. That's more starting speed than you'll get from other providers. And when you think about just how many devices are connected to your network, computers, printers, cell phones, and everything else using your Wi-Fi, it's just what your business needs. Finally, you can get rid of your slow internet service and start focusing on getting things done. Switch to Spectrum Business today with speed other providers can't beat at a price they can't match. Get Spectrum Business Internet now with speeds up to 200 megabits per second, still only $44.99 a month when bundled with Spectrum Business Voice for $29.99 a month. Call 877-778-0860 or visit business.spectrum.com/200 today. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
I travel internationally and my wife's a flight attendant internationally, so she goes everywhere and gets duty-free everywhere.
Chris Jones literally shopped all over the world to find the perfect diamond for his wife, but nowhere did he find better value than right here at Diamonds Direct.
In my experience, there's nothing that compares to Diamonds Direct's prices, whether it be duty-free in the Caribbean or other countries. Diamonds Direct prices have beaten everything I've looked at.
In fact, Chris actually knows some jewelers in the Caribbean, and he said even his friends down there couldn't beat Diamonds Direct.
Knowing jewelers in the Caribbean to say, hey, this is the price they're quoting me, can you do it for me, make it for me, and I'll save a few bucks? And he said, I can't get anywhere close to that. Just take it. That's fantastic value.
Diamonds Direct, a world diamond powerhouse, offering true direct importer prices on exquisite hand-picked diamonds.
You're certainly getting quality and price.
Diamonds Direct, literally known around the globe for unbeatable value, uncompromising quality, and unmatched customer care.
You're certainly getting more bang for your buck.
Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
As an employer, you've got more reason than most to love smartphones. They allow you to reach your employees anywhere, anytime, and they keep you connected to the people you count on. At Texas Mutual Insurance Company, we understand, and that's why we're asking you to turn the phones off. It isn't easy. We know, because we did it ourselves. We set a firm, no-exception, company-wide policy. No phone use of any kind while driving on work time. That includes hands-free functions. The result? Accidents decreased. Productivity didn't. Driving accidents are the #1 cause of work-related fatalities, and cell phone use is the leading factor. That's why it's up to you to make the call. Establish a no phone use while driving policy for your company and give your employees the freedom to ignore incoming calls. There's no question it will save lives, and will get a whole lot of good Texans home to their families. Texas Mutual is changing the way workers' comp works for you. To learn more about keeping your drivers safe, go to worksafetexas.com/yourcall.
presents Coast to Coast AM and the best of George Norrie.
Boy, hell, it's hard to believe, but in several weeks, it's going to be Halloween weekend. Oh, my gosh. Well, Friday night, we're going to have our Ghost to Ghost traditional program for you, and 3 special hours of Ghost to Ghost open lines, of course. Rosemary Ellen Guiley will join us for the first hour talking about black mirrors and what they do. But this is what we'd like you to do. In addition to you calling in, those of you who want to really get on the program, our Ghost to Ghost show is Friday, October 30th, and we want your great ghost stories emailed to us. You can find the full information at coasttocoastam.com under the highlights reel, but here is a website for you and an email address, ghoststory@coasttocoastam.com. ghoststory@coasttocoastam.com. Include a very brief description of your story, and then make sure you include your day and evening phone numbers, because you just might get picked. So we're going to have the phones open, folks. Don't worry about that. But we want to have some selected folks who have sent in some ghost stories too. So ghoststory@coasttocoastam.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Where could your career take you if you had the right support and clear goals for your future? A graduate business degree from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University can provide the support you need to redefine your career and the education to forge your own path. With ASU, you can earn your degree without leaving your current job, sacrificing hard-earned achievements, or being confined to a set schedule. Learn more about earning your graduate business degree completely online. Text OFFER to 66597. You'll have access to world-renowned educators who can inspire and challenge you and help shape a new vision for your success. You'll be supported by a team of mentors and coaches who are driven to keep you motivated and on track as you push yourself further than you ever imagined. Take the first step toward redefining your future with a top-ranked graduate business degree online from W.P. Carey. Text OFFER to 66597. That's OFFER to 66597.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee, and you're even getting up at night to go. This is not okay. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate, the #1 prostate formula, are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one. To celebrate, we're sending free bottles to men who want to cut down on bathroom trips. Yes, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Just dial pound 250 on your mobile phone and say the keyword, "not again." Early research suggests that an ingredient in P3 Advanced may help support a normal prostate size. Combine that with a reduction in urges to pee, and you have a formula you'd be crazy not to try. Try P3 Advanced free. Dial pound 250 on your mobile phone and say the keyword, "not again." Dial pound 250 and say the keyword, "not again."
The new version of the Coast to Coast AM app is here, now available for Android as well as iPhone. For Coast Insiders, it offers the ability to download the most recent shows so you can listen to them at your leisure. The new app also has listen live and streaming features, plus recaps, contacts, and upcoming show info. Coast Insiders with Android System 4.0 and above, or iPhone. Check out our new app at the Google Play or iTunes stores, or link from the Coast website. Looking for the truth? You'll find it on Coast to Coast AM.
Let us go to Rob in Vancouver.
What I wanted to say is, with all this craziness that's going on out there, I feel like you are a last bastion of actual journalism where you are open to everything. And there's nothing out there like that.
We're going to be going through some incredible times, and they're not all going to be good times. As rocky as it's going to seem, we're going to get through it. That's what we need. Okay, welcome back to Coast, our final segment with Jesse Ventura. Jesse, is it appropriate to still call you governor? Did they do that?
Yeah, actually, that's what you're still supposed to do. the way it works is the old cliche, you're always the governor, you're just not the current one.
That's right. Well, Governor, American...
Well, same with president, you know.
Same thing, that's right.
Clinton today.
That is true.
We'll call him Mr. President.
Yep, absolutely. The book, Amazon.com and bookstores? Is it out there everywhere?
Oh, yeah, I hope so. I don't know. I'm not in charge of that.
You just write them and talk about them.
I write them and talk about them, and it ends up a team effort. So hopefully that end of the team's working.
Let's go out to your old stomping grounds. Pat is in Minneapolis, east of the Rockies. Hey, Pat, go ahead.
Governor Ventura, since I actually did vote for you, I'm going to make the same offer to you that I made to George Norrie. If Senators Bernie Sanders and Rand Paul aren't going to talk about the grid, I'm looking for a candidate who will, and not only that, will take a tip from Trump, talk about the borders in order to grab that Hispanic demographic and a lot of others, because I believe if there's one group that's going to vote for borders, it's going to be our Hispanic community who know how important those borders are, and when anybody comes who shouldn't be, what neighborhoods do they go to? What people are they bothering the most? The good Hispanics that are here. And my other idea of my perfect candidate is going to say, Edward Snowden, I want you to come back to the United States and become part of my cabinet, because we need to shine a light in a lot of corners, and I'm going to have a flashlight right along with the rest of a lot of you, and we're going to look and find out about a lot of stuff that's been going on, not just the JFK assassination, but there's a whole lot for all of us to work on.
Well, I can't add to any of that. I agree with it, but good luck on trying to get that done and appropriating the money to do it.
Got to get that grid done. And Snowden, of course, said today that he'd come back to the United States even if they tossed him in jail. He wants back in.
Well, to me, it's a sad thing. I had Abraham Bolden on my show today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with Abraham, but he's the Jackie Robinson of the Secret Service. He was the first black presidential Secret Service agent handpicked by President Kennedy. And Bolden was also a whistleblower after the Kennedy assassination on what a poor job the Secret Service did in protecting the president. They sent him to prison too. Every whistleblower, John Kurokow, is the former Marine CIA who exposed the torture. He went to jail. So you got to understand that our moral compass in this country is upside down now.
Absolutely. Jesse, when you were in the Navy, if your commanding officer gave you a wrong, immoral order, would you have followed through with it?
Boy, I don't know. It's hard for me to go back to that frame of mind of what I was when I was in the Navy if I would have just simply gotten the job done, because in the UDT SEAL community, we're the knuckle draggers. We generally don't question what we're doing. We just get it done.
I know. It's difficult, but if they had said to me, take out this group of innocent people we need because one of them isn't, I'm not sure I would do that.
I don't think I would either. No, I don't think I would do that at all.
Let's go to Cody in Winchester, Kentucky. Hey, Cody, thanks for calling. Good to have you on the show.
Hey, thanks for letting me on, George, and awesome to be able to speak to Governor Ventura.
Yes, sir.
What I was going to ask about is something that's pretty recent, and I was wondering if Governor Ventura has heard about it. The Strong Cities Network that Loretta Lynch presented to the United Nations at the end of September. And basically what it is, it's a network of cities, international and those in America, that would allow for the Blue Helmets, the UN troops, to actually come in and help fight extremists. And we all know how loose of a term that is. And, the UN's not held by our Constitution. So, I just wanted to know if he had heard about it and what his take on it.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard about it, but I would be very uncomfortable with anything like that happening. I'm upset enough right now that John McCain, Senator McCain and Senator Levin of Michigan a couple years ago put an amendment on the defense bill that allows our military now to operate inside the United States concerning the, quote, war on terror. I was outraged over that, and I couldn't believe mainstream media didn't even bother to inform the American people that this was happening, and now it's in place that the U.S. Military can now operate freely within our own country in supposedly fighting terrorism.
Yeah, exactly. And the Attorney General Lynch brought in these, what she calls the Strong City Network, to strengthen communities against extremism and violence. But that means bringing in a lot of people in this country that I don't think should be here at all. I knew Carl Levin better.
You know what I find interesting? Let me interject this in here for a moment to have people think about this. We are not allowed to use chemicals against our enemy, right?
We're not supposed to.
Yeah, the rules of war. You're not supposed to use chemicals against your enemy, and yet we use chemicals against our own people. It's called tear gas.
Yeah.
You can't use tear gas at war, but we can use it on our own people. I keep bringing that up because I can't believe the people of this country don't rise up accordingly. How can we allow them to use chemicals on us, but we wouldn't even use them on our enemies?
Amazing. I knew Carl Levin when he was a Detroit city councilman, way back. And then after I moved around, he ran for the Senate and won, and he's been there one heck of a long time now. My gosh, when you were the governor of Minnesota, did you have an opportunity to go to D.C. often?
Well, I went there for the National Governors Association pretty much 3 out of the 4 years, I think. And then, of course, when you go there for that, you get an audience with the president, a party at the White House, and then the next morning you meet with the president on domestic issues, and all the governors are there, and it's a chance to meet other governors and a chance to, see what they're doing, because many times in the governor level, you can learn things of what's happening in other states and apply them to your state.
We now go to the Bronx. Joe's with us. Hey, Joseph, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, George?
Good to have you.
Thank you. I wanted to ask Governor Ventura what he thinks about Hillary Clinton's campaign concerning her email fiascos and also the Benghazi fiasco. Do you think that might cause her to drop out of contention?
No, I don't think it will. And to me, if the Republicans admitted just the other day, this new guy that's going to take over for Boehner, that it was all done politically to try to destroy her. Now, what more of an admission do you need than that? But talking about investigating something, rather than Benghazi, why don't we investigate the trumped-up intelligence we got that put us into the Iraq War and totally destabilized the Middle East and the mess we have today there and the $1.7 trillion we have spent over there since it began? How come we're not investigating that?
Yeah. Absolutely. And another fiasco. We got rid of Saddam Hussein, we got rid of Gaddafi, and those countries have collapsed.
Yeah, they're worse now than they were.
Yeah, they really were. There are some countries that unfortunately cannot be democratic.
Well, it's called the Middle East. Here's the story I like to tell, George. Christopher Columbus discovered America for the Anglo-Saxon European. His mission was to find an alternative route to India to avoid the Middle East. Now, Columbus was willing to fall off the earth because science said you'd fall off. He would rather fall off the earth than go through the Middle East. Shouldn't we have learned something from that? Nothing's changed there.
Well, what's interesting, too, Jesse, is our policies toward Jordan. There's a king. Saudi Arabia, there's a king. Kuwait, there's an emir, a king. The Emirates, they're all run by princes and kings. Qatar, all of them support us in terms of oil resources and things like that. And they're all run by families and individuals. We don't fool around with them. We protect them. But those leaders who try to do things a little differently, we oust them.
Oh, without a doubt. We're always doing that, and it's ridiculous. I mean, when we talk about Iran and our hatred for them and we can't trust them and all that, if I was an Iranian, I wouldn't like the U.S. Look what we did to them. They had a democratically elected president back in the 50s who we helped to within the Shah,
Yep,
who was a brutal dictator. It took him 25 years to get rid of him, and now look what you got over there. And the point being, if I was an Iranian, I wouldn't like us either. How would we feel if an outside entity came in, took out our president, and gave us a dictator?
Yep. You know what's sad, too? Most Iranians who live there love our way of life and love our country. It's these mullahs who are instilling this hatred. I was told by an Iranian friend of mine who lives out here in Beverly Hills, he said the kids in school are taught every day to say, "Death to America." Unbelievable.
Yeah, well, you know, and in some ways I sit and go, we brought it on ourselves.
First-time caller Bill in Helper, Utah. Hi, Bill. Go ahead.
George Norrie, Governor Ventura, complete honor to speak with both of you.
Thank you.
My question is about 60 miles from where I live is the Skinwalker Ranch in northeastern Utah. I have studied that extensively. It seems through the 90s there was a lot of, it was basically a hot spot, and you don't hear much about it anymore. I'd like your take on that, as well as, do you believe there is a connection between ET and our own government?
Well, I'll jump in. We covered the Skinwalker Ranch on the conspiracy theory. I did not go there, but my son did. And my son came back, and all he'd say to me was, "Dad, there's strange stuff goes on there."
He was right, Jesse.
And, you know, I didn't physically go there, but my son is like me. He's a skeptic, but he came back to me and said there was stuff there that he couldn't explain.
Our colleague George Knapp, who does our programs every once in a while for us, has written a book about the Skinwalker Ranch. It is, I think, extremely haunted. There's something weird going on there.
Well, that's what my son told me. Like I said, that was a part of conspiracy theory. We would go out, different people. Sean Stone would go one place, my son would go another, and I'd go a third, and then we'd meet together and pool our resources. And my son and Sean had the Skinwalker trip, and when my son came back from it, he was a little bit out of sorts from it, because he said, "Dad, stuff went on there that I saw things I couldn't explain."
And that's Tyrell, right?
Yeah, Tyrell.
Yeah, you raised him well, by the way, Jesse.
Thank you. I'm very proud of him. He actually works for Russian television today.
Does he really?
Yeah, he has his own show on there called The Hawks.
Good for him.
He produces it himself, and he works at Russian television, and he's living out in Washington, D.C. now.
The conspiracy theory TV show just ran its course?
No, it got canceled when the Chris Kyle debacle happened to me.
That's right.
And I had to fight my way through that lie.
Well, let me tell us, I've gotten a couple of emails about that, and I wanted everybody to know that you didn't want to get involved in this at all. I know you, but you had to defend your name, and that you won in court. A jury of 10 people, 8 of them sided with you, and you won.
Well, not only that, so did the federal judge. The federal judge, he's the ultimate. The jury actually in a federal court is in an advisory role. And the federal judge concurred completely with the jury's decision. His final words were, "There's substantial evidence supporting the verdict." I had to do that. And the misconception was, after Kyle died, that I was taking on the widow and her children. Completely untrue. I'm still going against a major insurance company, and you should see what's happened today, George. We have our 8th Circuit Court of Appeals. It's in the appeals court, and the oral arguments will be October 20th. In May, 33 of the major media conglomerates co-signed a friendly thing to the court wanting my verdict overturned.
Wow.
Because the media wants the ability to defame people. They want unjust enrichment removed so that they can defame you and make money off it. It would be equivalent to robbing the bank.
You got a judgment.
You go to jail for the robbery, but then when you get out, you get to keep the money.
I mean, you got a judgment of $1.8 million. Has the insurance company paid you anything?
Not a penny.
My goodness.
Not a penny. And it's cost me over $1 million of my own money.
In legal?
Yep.
Jeez. Well, and tragedy. Had Chris Kyle not gotten murdered by that whacked-out veteran...
Well, what I'd like to know is why would a guy who's suffering post-traumatic post-traumatic stress. Why would you take him to a gun and hand him a loaded weapon?
That was a mistake. And as a matter of fact, I think Kyle's buddy, who also got shot, was overheard saying, "Watch my back," to Chris. They knew something was wrong with that guy.
Well, to me, the whole thing smells.
It was just
something strange. But getting back to it, I can only tell you this: I didn't even know Kyle. I may have met him, but he was a liar.
Were you even?
He lied about what he did to me, but he lied about other things that we learned in the trial.
Were you even in the bar when this went on?
I was there and he was there, but there was never an altercation.
And that hence was the whole reason that you were able to win.
Exactly, because it's a little patio, and it was really sad because these are my brethren. This would be like me doing this to a World War II veteran, what he did to me.
I know. The whole thing was sad and tragic.
I'm disappointed in the modern SEALs, and I'll tell you why. They're whoring the Trident. They're all coming home and making money and writing stories, and they're making movies. When I was in the teams, we had a standard rule. What happens on deployment?
You kept quiet. Nobody would have known who killed bin Laden under your watch.
Never.
Jesse, we're out of time. Keep in touch. Let's do another Aura TV, but I'd love to come down and talk with you.
Okay, George, look forward to it. You keep the nightlight going, because I'm going to bed.
Okay, my friend. Jesse Ventura, American Conspiracies. Up next, Dr. Diane Pomerantz joins us. We're going to be talking about her work on the other side. We'll be back.
The free Coast Zone email newsletter is sent out 6 days a week and is a great way to keep up on all things Coast. With detailed program recaps, the fascinating Today in Strangeness listing, upcoming guest info, and weekly free audio clips, it's a must-have for Coast fans. Look for the free sign-up on the coasttocoastam.com homepage.
This is Rick Cullerton from Discount Electronics, Austin's half-price computer superstore. We've received truckloads of Dell laptops, Apple iPads, large ViewSonic monitors, and thousands of computers. There's more on the way, so this stuff needs to go fast, and we're pricing it cheap. Discount Electronics has Dell Latitude i5 14-inch business class laptops for $195. We've got 24-inch ViewSonic LED monitors for $90. Discount Electronics has hundreds of iPad 2s for $105. You know these won't last. And we have Dell 990 small form factor computers for $195. All of our computers and laptops come with a 1-year warranty included, and most of them can be upgraded while you wait. Discount Electronics repairs computers and laptops so fast and so cheap, we've been voted the best computer repair shop year after year. Discount Electronics buys laptops, PCs, monitors, cell phones, almost anything Apple, and much more. So come turn your unwanted tech into cash at any of our stores. Come see why Discount Electronics is voted the best computer store in Austin year after year. An Austin original since 1997. DiscountElectronics.com.
My face and head is what broke the windshield. I flew in midair 26 feet and hit a riverbank. And I could see my boyfriend's mom laying face down in the water. She didn't survive. I should have just said, everybody buckle up. I don't want anyone to have to go through what I've had to go through. You never get over it.
Buckle up in every seat, every time, day and night. Click it or ticket. Brought to you by TxDOT.
It's time to play the blame game.
The time to assess blame.
Find blame.
If you want to blame somebody,
The blame.
who's to blame?
And the winner is Rush.
I want you all to always remember, the Democrats, liberals, the American left, however you want to categorize them, really do blame me.
Taking blame.
For busting up their monopoly. They really do blame me for being the agent of disruption.
On News Radio KLBJ.
You're listening to News Radio KLBJ, AM, Austin, 590 AM, and K259.
A surprise speaker. I'm Ann Carrick, Fox News. Jimmy Fallon shows up at graduation for Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida. This is one of the graduating seniors on Sunday.
He definitely brought an energy, a positive energy. He uplifted us for sure. So I'm really glad he did come.
This weekend's ceremony is just a few months after the deadly mass shooting at the school. 17 people were killed, 4 of them seniors slated to graduate this year. President Trump's legal team, including Rudy Giuliani, not a fan of letting special counsel Robert Mueller interview the president. Fox's Ellison Barber reports from the White House.
Giuliani's not totally ruling out a potential sit-down between President Trump and special counsel Robert Mueller, but he says he is, at this point in time, leaning towards no. He also said that when it comes to that legal memo that was sent back in January, the legal arguments inside it, he says that they are strong ones. The 20-page letter was leaked to the New York Times and Fox News. We received a copy of the letter yesterday. In it, the president's attorneys, Jay Sekulow and John Dowd, argue that an in-person interview between Mueller and President Trump is not necessary because the special counsel has all of the information they need to answer the questions they say they want to ask the president.
The special counsel is investigating Russian interference in the 2016 election, including actions by the president's close advisors and campaign team. It was 5 years ago when National Security Agency contractor Edward Snowden blew the lid off U.S. government surveillance methods. Intelligence chiefs complained the revelations from the trove of classified documents Snowden disclosed still are trickling out, including recent reporting on a mass surveillance program run by close U.S. ally Japan and how the NSA targeted Bitcoin users to gather intelligence to combat narcotics and money laundering. Snowden currently lives in exile in Russia. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Ever notice some jewelry stores feel like a drive-thru?
Welcome to Cookie Cutter Jewelry. May I take your order, please?
I'll have the number 3. Same old engagement ring. Hey, could I get it with a larger center diamond with a Tacori setting? Maybe with a halo?
No, sir, this isn't Diamonds Direct. We don't have so many choices. We don't even carry Tacori. We're really more into mass production, so what'll it be?
Okay, I guess I'll just have a regular number 3.
Yeah, would you like to add a limited warranty for an extra $200 a year?
Sure. Looking for more? Just keep driving to Diamonds Direct, where your menu of choices includes thousands of engagement rings from the world's top designers like Tacori, Verragio, and Henry Dossi. Not generic rings, unique handcrafted fashion-forward rings she'll be proud to show off.
Drive up to the second window, sir. There you go.
Excuse me, I think I got the wrong order.
Actually, it doesn't matter. They're all the same. Have a nice day.
Making the decision of a lifetime soon? Take your time with the experts at Diamonds Direct and select the ring that's as unique as the one you love. Diamonds Direct.
Genetic testing shows some women with early-stage breast cancer can skip chemotherapy. It's one of the biggest examples of personalized medicine. A large study finds genetic testing can reveal which women safely can skip the chemical treatment. The study finds most women with the most common form of breast cancer need only surgery and hormone therapy. Results were announced Sunday at an American Society of Clinical Oncology conference in Chicago. The White House is lowering expectations for an immediate breakthrough in the summit between President Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
The meeting is on, and the president has said the talks are going well between nations, but a lasting peace, the White House says, will take more than just this one summit. Economic advisor to the president, Larry Kudlow, on Fox News Sunday said there are many goals that are trying to be reached.
Denuclearization, disarmament, and so forth. But it is going to be a process. I'm not directly involved in that. My pal John Bolton is, of course, the president. But sure, these negotiations take time.
The president has not said if he's spoken to Kim Jong-un directly, but preparations continue with a little more than a week to go. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
In Guatemala, one of Central America's most active volcanoes erupted in fiery explosions of ash and molten rock Sunday, killing at least 7 people and injuring 20. Among the fatalities, 4 people, including a disaster agency official, killed when lava set a house on fire. Also, 2 children died who were watching the eruption from a bridge. An undetermined number of people are missing. Authorities fear the death toll will rise. Martin Truex Jr. takes the checkered flag at Pocono Raceway on Sunday.
Awesome day by everybody on the team, and we had to battle a little bit back from a bad pit stop, but in general, just had a really good car. Everybody did a great job all weekend long and made the right decisions.
Kyle Larson was second. I'm Ann Carrick, Fox News Radio.
News Radio KLBJ, I'm Robert Wood, topping Austin's news. The northbound lower deck of Interstate 35 is shut down right now for repaving work.
We will be diverting traffic to the upper deck and to the frontage roads.
TxDOT's Diane Hodges says That same pattern will be repeated overnight Monday and Tuesday. Then Wednesday, the upper deck will be closed for repaving, while traffic is diverted to the lower deck. A study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology finds that taking vitamins have no effect on preventing heart disease, stroke, or early death. University of Texas Health's Dr. Fred Campbell isn't surprised.
The misconception is that there's a magic pill that will prevent us from having heart disease, strokes, cancer. Never have we proven that supplements actually do that.
He says if you eat a healthy diet, you should get everything you need. The KLBJ Radar Weather Watch, overnight low 75. I'm Robert Wood. Get news on demand at newsradioklbj.com.
Coast to Coast AM.
In a moment, we will talk about mysticism, clairvoyance. Our special guest is Dr. PhD Diane Pomerantz, and we're going to be talking about Catherine Hayward. Who is Catherine Hayward, you might ask? You'll find out in a moment on Coast to Coast AM.
Message and data rates may apply. Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that furthered your career and gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors, all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? To find out more, text OFFER to 79645. That's OFFER to 79645. Start your online MBA, Information Management, or Business Analytics Master's Program from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the W.P. Carey Business Graduate Programs online. Text OFFER to 79645. That's OFFER to 79645.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee, and you're even getting up at night to go. This is not okay. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate, the #1 prostate formula, are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one. To celebrate, we're sending free bottles to men who want to cut down on bathroom trips. Yes, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Just dial pound 250 on your mobile phone and say the keyword, not again. Early research suggests that an ingredient in P3 Advanced may help support a normal prostate size. Combine that with a reduction in urges to pee, and you have a formula you'd be crazy not to try. Try P3 Advanced free. Dial pound 250 on your mobile phone and say the keyword, not again. Dial pound 250 and say the keyword, not again.
Coast to Coast. Dr. Diane Pomerantz with us, dedicated her life to animal and environmental welfare and to spiritual research and exploration. Now, sharing the story of a very renowned spiritual teacher and mentor, Catherine Hayward has been a labor of love for her. Additionally, she has authored a number of books, is best known for her books about animal companionship, specifically the human-animal bond and grief recovery. Diane, we've got a lot to talk with you about tonight. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Yes, we do.
This work on animal companionship with humans, this is so critical to people. I think people who don't own an animal or never have, they'll never understand this bond, will they?
I don't think so. I think it's really necessary to experience that relationship, and there's no other relationship quite like it. Animals are intuitive, highly intuitive, and they operate on an entirely different level than we do. They are the truth. They're genuine. They're not unpretentious. They don't have an agenda, and they're non-judgmental, unconditionally loving, loyal, etc. So when you are close with an animal, there's just an unspoken bond that unites you and knows that you and the animal, whatever it might be, dog, horse, cat, etc.,